Hey y'all, welcome to Restless Chipotle Kitchen. Today I'm going to use these to make Christmas breakfast. Doesn't that look delicious? It is a super easy, take you 20 minutes at the most, and that includes baking time, cheese Danish with maraschino cherries in it. And it's just got a little vanilla glaze on it if you want to do that, and I put some sprinkles on there just to be fun. So let's get started. These are absolutely the cutest breakfast rolls ever for Christmas. You can make them in a Christmas tree shape like I'm going to do today. I've made them in a wreath shape. I've made them in a bell shape. They're just awesome, and they're so quick and easy. What you're going to need is a can of Crescent rolls, some vanilla, maraschino cherries. Some of these recipes call for cherry pie filling, but I just prefer the maraschino cherries. Honestly, I think it looks better. And then powdered sugar and cream cheese. Okay, we're going to take the cream cheese and warm it up until it's softened. So I'm going to warm this in the microwave for a couple of seconds, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the cream cheese warmed up, and it's nice and soft, and I'm just going to beat that up with a fork to make sure that we get all the lumps out. And to that, I'm going to move this stuff aside. To that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of my vanilla. You could use almond extract if you like. That will work fine too. I'm going to fill this up. This is actually 3/4 of a teaspoon. I couldn't find my teaspoon measure, so I'm going to eyeball it a little bit. All right, we're going to mix that up. And the reason that we're putting the vanilla in there first is so that it can get mixed in easily before we put the powdered sugar in. I've noticed some recipes call for powdered or for granulated sugar, but when you use the granulated sugar, it doesn't melt down, and sometimes you can get little crystals in the cream cheese. And honestly, I like my cheese Danish to be smooth and yummy. Okay, so I'm just going to take this whole thing of powdered sugar, 1/2 cup, and dump it in there. And I'm going to mix that up. It's good to sift the powdered sugar before you add it so that you don't get these bumps in here that I'm getting. But they will melt in the oven, and I think it'll be all right. I'm trying to save time, and that's not always the best thing to do. Okay. So we'll set that aside. Now, just open your can of Crescent rolls. And if you've never done this before, which honestly, I never used to use, like I would always make sweet rolls from scratch, but this is easy. And let me tell you, around Christmas time and the holidays, sometimes you want just easy. Anyway, it took me a while to figure out how to do it, but you just unwrap that like that, peel it, and throw the paper away, and then get a knife and find the seam and just push the knife right down on the seam. And if they stick a little bit, don't worry, because they'll be fine. All right, so we're gonna do that. Put those back together a little bit. And now, we're not gonna unroll these. What we're gonna do is cut them in 11 pieces. And try to cut them evenly. I am not good at even, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are going to be a little thin. 10 and 11. All right. Okay. So we have our Crescent rolls. Some of them are bigger than other ones, but that's okay. I told y'all I'm not good at eyeballing stuff. All right. I lined my baking sheet with parchment paper, and I'm going to arrange these to look like a Christmas tree. So one for the base. Having trouble with words today, y'all. And then we're going to use 4 I'm going to make that base so that it's in the middle. And then we're going to use 3. And then we're going to use 2. See what we're doing here? And then 1 for the top. So there's our Christmas tree shape. I'll tell you what, I'll leave it like this so y'all can see it. And then just take your thumb and put a well in each one of these. And I guess you can use your forefinger if you want to. I'm a little sticky. And then you're going to leave this one plain. So we've got wells in all of these. Okay. And now we're going to take the cream cheese mixture and we're going to fill up each one of those wells. And it doesn't take much. Probably not going to need all of the cream cheese that I've got, but if you get a little too much in there, go ahead and spoon some of it out. I've done that so many times. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. This guy doesn't get anything good on it, okay? These have got the cream cheese. They're going to have cherries. This guy doesn't get anything good. So what I like to do is sprinkle that one with cinnamon sugar so that nobody gets left out. You don't need a whole lot, and try not to get it on the other ones, but just enough. There. So whoever gets that one doesn't get stuck with no goodness. Everybody gets some goodness. It's just this one is a little different than the rest. Okay. Now we're going to add the maraschino cherries. You can use candied cherries, like the red and green ones, if you want to. You can use cherry pie filling. I like the maraschino cherries. I just think they're cleaner and I just like them. So we'll put 1 here. And I tend to pat them dry with a paper towel because I don't want the red to, spread around too much. And that one there. Press down just a tiny bit. Meanwhile, while I'm doing this, the oven is preheating to 375 degrees. Also, if you want these to be at their prettiest, the stem ends should go down. The stem ends have little holes in them, and sometimes after they've been baked, they really show up. So stem ends down. Or if there happens to be like a big cut on it and you don't want to waste that one, just put that one down too. Actually, I don't like that one at all. Now when these come out of the oven, you can leave them as they are, or you can drizzle them with vanilla confectioner's sugar glaze. I'm going to drizzle these when they're done with the confectioner's glaze because I want to put a few little sprinkles across it too, just to make it look more festive. There, one more. If you needed more than 11, you could use 2 and just double the size of it. These are very tiny. They're not, y'all know I make those huge cinnamon rolls, those huge plate-sized cinnamon rolls on the blog, right? These are not that. These are just a little treat that are festive and pretty and are just great for breakfast on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve or whatever. All right, so I'm going to take these and they're going to go into the oven at 375 until they're done. I think that's about 10 minutes. I'll have to double check and then I'll be back. All right, y'all, it just came out of the oven, and look what we've got. Looks so pretty, like a Christmas tree, right? We've got the cherries, the cream cheese filling, the cinnamon one down at the bottom that even looks like a tree stump, and just it smells so good in here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set these aside so that they can cool, and while they're doing that, I'm gonna make the glaze. The cinnamon rolls, oh my gosh. The cream cheese Danish don't need to be totally cool when you put the glaze on it, okay? But they need to be a little bit cool or it'll just melt. So I'm gonna use about 2/3 of a cup of powdered sugar, and I'm not even gonna measure, a couple of drops, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, or pure vanilla extract. I do not use vanilla flavoring. It is best if you do not use vanilla flavoring. Always the pure extract. And then this is heavy cream, and that's what I like to use for my glazes if I want them to be white. If I don't mind if they're a little yellow, I just use pure butter. Now, we're going to mix that up. And you want it to be kind of runny. Now I just put a little bit of the cream in at a time because, you know, you don't want it to start off too runny and then add more powdered sugar and then it's too thick, and so you add more cream and you're constantly on that seesaw. I've done it. So I just add a little bit of cream at a time. And what I want is, I want this glaze to be runny enough that I can just use a fork and drizzle it across. You know, you could also use white chocolate. That would be delicious, melted white chocolate. Now, if we were going to spread it on, this would be about right. But remember, I want to drizzle it. So, and I will keep adding cream until it drizzles. If you add milk, you won't need as much. The cream has a lot of fat in it, and that kind of keeps it thicker. But I think we're just about there. And this is how I like it. Just so that when I scoop it up, it comes right off the fork like that. All right, looks good to me. How about you? Our Christmas tree is cooled off, and I'll tell you, I'm gonna have it facing me so that when I add the drizzle, I can see what I'm doing, all right? All I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start way over here, and I'm gonna drizzle, 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 until it doesn't drizzle anymore. And then I'm gonna get more. And drizzle. That way you don't have any big lumps or, you know, big places where it's spilled. All right, and once I've done that, I think that what I would like to do is to sprinkle some sprinkles on it, just to be a little more festive. Of course, you don't have to do that. You can leave it as just without the sprinkles, but we like sprinkles in my family. So, I have to be careful. These sprinkles have big white balls in them, and they're hard. I don't really care for them. All right. These, they're hard and they're pretty, but not so fun to bite into. There's little flat circles that are better. Oh, I don't think I want that on there either. Are you guys picky about sprinkles? I am. I have a big, like Rubbermaid bin. I mean, huge. Not just like a bin. I'm talking about probably 3 feet by 2 feet by 12, another 2 feet maybe. Very deep, filled with different kinds of sprinkles. Kind of addicted. So here it is. Here is our Christmas tree in all its glory, all glazed. Can you see that? It's got a funny shadow on it. I'm trying to use some light so that it's easier to see. Anyway, there's our Christmas tree. Everybody just pulls the one off that they want. It's pretty, it's festive, it's super easy, and I highly recommend them, okay? All right. So, what do you think? Think your family would like that on Christmas morning? I know my family's going to, and I'm gonna do easy this year. Y'all give it a try. So much fun, so pretty, so delicious. Just so festive. I just love this time of year. So, don't forget to subscribe, but don't forget to come back next week, okay? I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.